everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Redskins. With that, let's get on up to FedEx Field near Washington. Standing by for the call of this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action with Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
With their lack of pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he's got his target. That's more. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 27-yard line.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He's going to and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Solid finish to the opening drive. And look, when you get down around the goal line, you have to account for his legs. We saw it right there.
Yeah, that's the added dimension to the offense, isn't it? Remember what the offensive line coach told us earlier this week? I told my guys, he's going to run it. We have to make sure he stays protected and give him an opportunity.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett. Quick throw, complete out wide here to Green. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week, because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. The numbers a week ago for Michel. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, That just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
On second down, Michel. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll try Michel here running on the right side. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On 2nd down, Michel.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now it's Wilson. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, 2nd-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Devon Kennard in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call. Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, tighten down. There you go. Ready, go.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
A 6-yard gain brings up 3rd.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bryant's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Throwing now, Wilson on first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, first down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Brissett, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Fielded at about the 28. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They begin with Michel on the ground, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. On 2nd and 9, Wilson looking middle, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but They need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Brissett, and his throw here is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. On second down now, Michel, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out, fumble. And the Redskins scoop it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
The tackle made by Robert Quinn.
on second down. Here's Barkley. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Redskins on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Brissett. And Wilson has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing, Brissett. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They throw again on second down. This one's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now Brissett. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it.
That's it, baby. We gon' work.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
A first down carry for Barkley. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. On 2nd and 9, Brissett finding Green complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line.
Another try for Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel, and he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. On second down, Michel, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On third down, Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed
Super toe.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And it's caught. And he's brought down. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. Red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on second and goal here. Brissett sets to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. But it'll be second and goal. On second and goal, Brissett. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a third and goal situation. Here's Barkley, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have taken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter in the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Now he'll escape to his right. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go,
On first down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Nick Bosa able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's going to go down again. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Brissett now, and the grab by Croft. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
He may try and run for this. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Play action now, Brissett. And that's incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Brissett. He's got Green. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. 8 yards, 1st down as they're able to convert.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, Brissett. He completes it to Wilson. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down, right around the 18-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Bryant is good. And they have regained the lead. So it's his 3rd field goal now in the ball game, and they needed his leg. This last one gives them the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
And that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On play action, Brissett. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Brissett. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Robert Quinn. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And a completion to Wilson. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the 1st. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now Michel. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a third and about 13. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And all the way to the opposite 48. It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, Michel. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Devon Kennard in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Here's Broussard. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, Brissett. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
You got scored by Josh Norman.
Play fake, Brissett. And that's complete. It's Green here. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Caught. It's Wilson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, Those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. Airing one out for Boyd. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He gets this one to Boyd. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And they will run it with Michel. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. 4th quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good. They're running it. It's Michel. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Sony Michel, his first touchdown on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. 4th and goal, Charles, all the time you see those offenses, especially the quarterback, the running back, looking over the sideline saying, don't send the kicker out. There they did it, and it paid off.
It's really nice to see what they wanted actually done. And how about the coaches getting their faith rewarded by a touchdown?
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. The rain making this treacherous, but the extra point is good, and with it, it'll give them the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, 3rd down here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film. All that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions that show that the speed's going to be quicker. But until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
And not as easy to implement on game day. They'll run it. This is Michel. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return is Cohen. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48 and a return of 8. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Elsewhere, they're on to the 4th quarter at MetLife Stadium. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Brissett now. And this is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing, Brissett. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. The sack by Marcus Hunt. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
From the 22, Wilson. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. From the gun, they run with Michel, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 20! And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Sony Michel with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So the Redskins down on the scoreboard. 1:37 remaining. They need a touchdown and, of course, the 2-point conversion as well. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Finding Green complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
The previous play is under review.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Brissett. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Christian Covington in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield. And
for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it, and let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter, but a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.